Saturday, 13 July 2024, former US President Donald Trump got shot in his ear during an assassination attempt on this location. Mr. Trump was at the yellow pin and this was the line of fire. This event was prophesied by Brandon Biggs in a video that was uploaded on 14 March 2024, and in this video I want to show you there are many special layers behind this prophecy and the video. In order to show you them, I have to start with the most remarkable detail of the prophecy. The words flew by his ear. These were after 11 minutes and 11 seconds into the video.
Like fire all throughout America, all throughout. And I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. This bullet flew by his ear, and it.
The host of the video, Pastor Steve Cicolanti, addresses the total solar eclipse of 8 April 2024, and he mentions that the path of the eclipse goes over 11 towns called Nineveh, and 2 of these towns are in the state of Pennsylvania, and he mentions the 11 Ninevehs at 18 minutes 31 seconds or 1111 seconds into the video, the second double 11.
This one starts in equal pass. It goes across 11 Ninevehs. This one starts in equal pass. It goes across 11 Ninevehs.
And this is significant because the number of days between the upload and the shooting is 11 times 11 days. As you can see, the shooting site in Butler is almost exactly on the line between the 2 Ninevehs. The distance between Butler and the line is only 7 miles or 11.3 kilometers. And I want to show many more lines like this, and I think they point at Donald Trump being the next president of the United States. In order to show you that God can use locations, lines, distances as a language, I want to start with an example from the Bible. It's the story of Moses, where the people just crossed the Red Sea and now they are wandering through the desert and they have nothing to drink and they complain about Moses. And God says to Moses, go to the rock in Horeb. Verse 6, Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. This location is known. It is in Saudi Arabia, and it is a giant rock. As you can see, there are mountains, sand everywhere, but here stands one giant rock, and I will show you in the street view how the rock looks like. Mountains everywhere, stone everywhere. How can Moses know which one is the rock in Horeb? And it is this giant stone of 30 by 30 meters standing on a heap of boulders. This is about 50 meters. So imagine Moses hit this rock with his staff, and the water came out of it, and everywhere around this heap of stones, the people and the animals were able to drink. The people of Israel did not know where they were. Here is the split rock, but God knew. They are in the middle of the desert. Look, rocks, mountains, everywhere. But God knew where they were, and He knew where they were heading, because when you use a compass for directions, your compass points at the North Pole, and when we draw a line from the split rock, I have to zoom in again to the split rock. When we draw a line from the split rock, here's the shadow, and we fly to the North Pole, I'll show you, this is the North Pole. You can see all the lines coming together. The software shows that this is the North Pole. When we go to Israel, this line does not only cross Israel, not only Jerusalem, it goes straight over the Temple Mount. And unfortunately the line is not visible here, but when we zoom out we can see the line again, and you can see it goes straight over the Temple Mount. It's about this line, so this is the Temple Mount, and the line goes straight through the middle. There is an amazing relation between the Temple Mount and the house of Donald Trump. I have to... Yes, you can see the distance here in kilometers, and we fly to Mar-a-Lago in the United States. Here's the house of Donald Trump, and when we click here you see the distance, 10,587 kilometers, and we can split that in 10,565 and 22, where 10,565 spells is the numerical value of the name of God, 10565 for YHWH, and the remaining 22 is the number of end times, or double 11 if you like. We have to go back to the Ninevehs, so Pennsylvania again. I'll clear the circle around Temple Mount. So here we have the two Ninevehs, and when we focus on the southern Nineveh, we can see it's a small town, and this is the center of the town, and this contrail caught my attention because it starts in Nineveh. So what I did, I marked the contrail and I followed it, and I noticed that it ended where it crossed the line between the two Ninevehs. You see, and it's 11.6 kilometers, something like that. So another 11. And at first I thought this second line, so not the one between the Ninevehs, but the line of the contrail, I thought, will it point to Butler? So let's have a look at Butler. It doesn't point to Butler, but where does it point to? When we follow this line, we pass the northern Nineveh, and we end up in a town that's called why can't I show a town that's called President? And what I think is beyond comprehension. The video was recorded in Clay Clark's house, and we see a President campground, and we see a Clark's campground. So for me, this is layer upon layer. That's proves that this prophecy is real. But now another remarkable fact: when we measure the distance from President to the northern Nineveh, it's not exactly at the crossroad, but I have to go a little bit more to the south in the town. We get 22 kilometers. You see 22 kilometers, so another double 11. And when we measure the distance from the church here in Nineveh, it's a little bit random, to the shooting site in Butler. The shooting site in Butler is 55 kilometers, so 5 times 11, where 5 is the number of grace. And to make the circle complete, back to president again. It's working. Back to president again. We go to President Campground. I take the artistic freedom to choose my locations. We get 73.96 kilometers, which is 7 times 10.565 kilometers, the numerical value of the name of God. We're not there yet. We found president because of the contrails in the southern Nineveh. Here they are again. We followed the contrail. We followed the contrail to president, and when we go back to Mar-a-Lago in Florida, we follow the line. We end up in Mar-a-Lago again. And what I think is most amazing, when we fly back to the north, where this line hits the coast, we arrive at Fort Sumter, where the American Civil War started, and which is the location where the first American solar eclipse exited the United States of America. So, in my opinion, it's all connected. The first American solar eclipse points from Donald Trump's house to president through the exit point of the first eclipse. We found a connection with the third American eclipse, and not only the lines are remarkable, also the distances contain variations of the number of 11. I wondered if this line was also a line that points to the North Pole. That isn't the case. Let's see if I can find a line in my... Yes, the line to the North Pole. It's not to the North Pole. It's also not exactly pointing at Butler. It goes a little bit past Butler, so let me zoom out a little bit. This is the contrail. This is the line President Mar-a-Lago, and this is the line Mar-a-Lago North Pole. So you can see that Butler and Nineveh are both within the range of these lines.